Alrighty, ladles and jelly spoons. Welcome to a rather late live stream on a Sunday night, aka Monday morning. It is currently the 2nd of June 2025. We're at the scene of a pretty horrific fire which broke out on Saturday afternoon, which would have been the 31st of May, and was started deliberately. And as we walk up this path, we can see that the fire service are still very much here on what can only be described as a huge fire. Not only did it take out a furniture store, aka Dunelm, it also took out a pets at home and pretty much most of this retail park. Taylor, hello my friend, you alright mate? In fact, Taylor, wait there a second buddy. There you go, bro. It's about time you became one of them. Gracie, hello to you, darling. So yeah, we're at the scene of the fire which broke out on Saturday. We started right there at Dunelm and ended up taking out Pets at Home all the way along to NCL, part of Dreams, and then finished just before B&M right over there. So all of that. Taylor, welcome to the moderator team, my friend. So NCL Living, Pets at Home, and all of those were destroyed by fire. Danny, hello to you, my friend. Oi oi. So Dunelm, Pets at Home, NCL Living, Dreams. And I say stops just for being able to see the police are still here. Fire service are still here, and unfortunately, this was started deliberately, folks, by kids who originally started a fire right there in Dunelm's toilet. So they started a fire in there and then decided they were going to go and set fire to an actual bedding display. So a bed and all the bedding in the actual store, which ended up taking out all of that. They have been arrested, yeah they have, and good. But again, they were kids, like literal children. And for those of you that saw the smoke and stuff literally pummeling over this road on Saturday afternoon in broad daylight. That's the worst thing about it, folks. This happened in broad daylight. But yes, this was in Northampton. Colette Sky, hello to you. So as you can see, so the fire service is still very much here. All of their police cordons and fire cordons are still very much in place. Audi and B&Q are just over there here in Northampton. Hello to Sabrina. But yeah, it was crazy. Nobody was injured. However, some animals were sadly unalived by that fire, including all the fish that are in that store, because the fish tanks are on the same wall that adjoins to Dunelm. They've all died. And yeah, as you can see, the aftermath from that is horrendous. It's a shame there's not smell-o-vision on here, because the smell and the heat still from that building is actually insane. But we're taking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stores from one fire is mad. Like I say, you've got Audi just over there. There's a mechanic shop there. KFC over there. Yeah, mental. I actually got a message from a friend of mine on Saturday afternoon saying, bro, get yourself over to Northampton and report on this fire. I was like, I would do, mate, but I'm currently in Market Harbour with the family at like a festival thing, which saw Oasis arrive at that very festival and Taylor Swift arrive by helicopter. Those videos were coming up later on this week. Yeah, but it started as a fire in the actual toilet, believe it or not. By the way, down there's a police car, which is watching my every single move. So you never know, we might get asked to move on at some point, which could be interesting, having the police turn around and say, can you leave, please? No. Yeah, so they set fire to a bed after setting fire to the toilet, or a bin in the toilet. Just goes to show what kids do. Like, why? Why does everyone need to be so disruptive these days? You know what I mean? But this is the fallout from that. Obviously, we are not going to cross the police cordon, because that's probably why they're watching me, just to make sure I don't cross over that tape, because 3 guys done it earlier on and they started getting quite leery. I was like, dude, why just get so leery? Why just be fucking rude? Oh, got on a scooter. So yeah, pretty mental. But those of you who are watching right now, hello and welcome along to the show. Who's this? You alright? Okay. Huh? It was on Saturday, yeah. Oh, Saturday. Yeah. It's kind of mad that these guys are still here after, well, since Saturday. So Saturday afternoon, about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, was when all this went up, where there's people everywhere. Obviously, every single store had to be evacuated for obvious reasons. But yeah, this is now the fallout, where weirdly that Fiesta has been there all weekend. Got 2 fire trucks still here, and anything that's inside that cordon now, unfortunately, can't leave. So it's kind of mad. You got KFC just there as well, so they probably got a bit upset, thinking, you know, they could have got some free meat, but obviously didn't. But the rest of this retail park, unfortunately, stays completely evacuated and totally dead now until all this gets sorted. It'll be a long time before that opens. Pets at home, again, it'll be a long time before that opens. And just kind of lucky that Dreams didn't go up completely, because beds are flammable, as are mattresses, duvets, etc, etc. So it's kind of mad. But yeah, what a horrific scene it was. For those of you who have seen like the posts and stuff, either from ITV News Anglia or the Northampton Telegraph, will see just how bad this fire was at its actual pivotal moment, or any live streams and stuff, people that were here for like Facebook, YouTube, etc, etc. The fallout from this was horrendous, bearing in mind it started there and spread all the way down. And knowing that tree's in the way, but I've got a nice little seat right here, so we're just going to sit here and chill out, because then hopefully those guys won't give us no issues, and the old Bill sat down there won't give us any issues either. Fingers crossed. But then again, it's the police, you never know what's going on. So hopefully you guys are all good and you managed to stay safe as well throughout the weekend. But yeah, it was pretty damned mental, I can assure you. So the fact that the sign there for Dunelm has practically disappeared, as obviously the flames and stuff came out the roof, it's going to be a hell of a long time before this gets back to any form of normality. And if you did see anything of the weekend of the fire that actually then spread into Pets at Home, that was horrific, you know. And just the thought of they did everything they could to rescue as many animals as they could from there, but sadly they couldn't get them all out. So although no person died during that fire, unfortunately animals did. But as you can see from here, the doors to Dreams are well and truly open. The doors on the NCL are open as well. Obviously Pets at Home completely open, and Dunelm as well. So, but yeah, unfortunately some animals did die during that fire, which breaks my heart, to be fair, because those poor little things wouldn't have had a clue. They'd probably been absolutely terrified. Even the ones that did manage to rescue also got pretty scared, as you can imagine. But that's where it happened, at the Neen Valley Retail Park right here in Northampton. Weirdly, that's what we've done recently, fires. There's one at Rushton, which obviously started spontaneously, but thankfully before it got to B&M down the end, it did actually put itself out, or the fire service were able to stop it spreading all the way down there. But what a sight, folks. I mean, come on, all of that devastation just because some kids decided it'd be really funny to set a building on fire. But it's the fact they did it in the middle of the day when there were people here shopping. You can imagine, can't you, Saturday afternoon, people go shopping, all this sort of thing. I mean, this place is normally rammed full of people, and yet look at it now. Obviously it'd be shut anyway this time of night, but the moon looks quite cool though, literally straight over there. Apologies for my ADHD brain. So how sickening is that, knowing that children have done that? You know what I mean, folks? It's just unbelievable. And I say the fact that the fire service are still very much on the scene with the police. I'm not too sure why the police are still here though, because their investigation's been done. You know, they've arrested the person or people they think are involved. So I'm not too sure why they're still here. It's kind of confusing. I'm also not too sure why they've still got an ALP, because clearly nothing is on fire right now. So to have that bad boy sat there, it's kind of mad. That one makes sense. That one, not so much. But I think at the height of the fire, they had what, 10 or 11 fire engines here fighting all of this. And I say, thankfully, it only spread as far down as like the Dream Store, and it was only just the Dream Store anyway. But of course, they're all conjoined. So as soon as it gets into the rafters, and then there's more oxygen, etc., it just spread literally like wildfire all the way down. So again, just goes to show, our retail parks are really safe? Probably not, folks. It's pretty mad. But just look at the devastation there. I mean, I don't actually know how they stopped it from going completely, or even spreading across to there. We have B&Q. You got to think, unfortunately, on the day of the fire, all the wind and smoke was being carried in that direction. So any embers, realistically, could have actually flown over there, or big pieces that have caught fire from here could have quite easily landed there, or just beyond at the Carlsberg factory, and then you got a massive emergency on your hands, as if this wasn't bad enough. So fair play to the fire service for doing whatever they did to contain it as much as they did. But like I say, I'm not too sure why they're still here. It's kind of confusing, especially as they don't seem to be doing very much. So whether they're doing like hourly checks to see, I don't know, what's what or whatever, I have no idea. Unfortunately, we cannot cross that ribbon to ask them why the hell they're here, because if we do, those boys in blue will be straight on our ass, probably chuck us to the floor and arresting us for crossing the police boundary. So we don't want to get in trouble. So we need to try and behave ourselves. But I hope you guys are okay in the comments. Obviously, like I said, as far as we know, as things stand right now, nobody was hurt or injured during that fire, which is a massive blessing in disguise. Annoyingly, ordinarily, we'd have just parked quite close by, but everywhere's shut. Obviously, you got in and out right there. If that had gone up, it would have been mental. If Audi had gone, that would be even worse. And then B&Q doesn't even bear thinking about. As you can see, the police are still very much sat there. Oxygen, hello my friend, how you doing? Sorry, Connor. What are the police doing there? Did someone post hurty words on Twitter? No. I don't actually know why they're here. I don't know why they've got two of them. Why one's inside the cordon and one's just sat on the road. I'm not overly sure why they're here, but no doubt they're here for a reason. Oh look, the fire service are doing something. Maybe they're going to go and check around and see. Let's watch him in action. Let's see what he's doing. Maybe they're asking to go and do like a little temperature check or something. I don't know. How interesting. But yeah, Connor, hope you're doing well, mate. Welcome back to the channel, my friend. Thank you for being here. Where's he going? I was betting he's just going to go for a wee or something, you know what I mean? Taking his little torch for a bit of protection. That'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it, if we just filmed him going for a fucking piss? Could you imagine it? Obviously, speaking of Connor, he and I spoke earlier, and we'll be back on Friday. So hopefully on Saturday, or maybe even next Monday, not today obviously, but next Monday, hopefully he'll be back on the back in the hot seat, back on this show, which will be pretty sick. Oh, those police are now getting ready to go and do something. Probably going to come and shout at me and go, "Don't you cross that border." So some late night investigation, and I'm here for it, mate. Was your weekend good too? It was actually. It was a pretty decent weekend. What are they now doing? You got hungry and decided to go to KFC? That was a good weekend. So we spent Saturday over at a festival with my family. So my sister and her kids, which was pretty cool. So, and I was there like 25 miles away when all this kicked off. So, no, it was good. Hopefully your one was good too. But yeah, what a... it's just a site of destruction left behind from that fire that just makes it like unfathomable why anyone would do this. I mean, it's bad enough doing it when the shop's shut, but why do it in broad daylight when people are out shopping, etc.? You know what I mean? Where the fuck are the police going? Just going for a nice little drive around the back now, are they? So as soon as the fire service go and do something, so they thought, oh, we might as well try and look busy as well. They're arseholes, aren't they? I mean, look, they're still very much sat there, and I can guarantee you, if I was to cross over that bit of ribbon, even by like a millimetre, you know for a fact they'll be on my arse straight away. But there's a police and obviously fire cordon in place right here for everyone's safety. You'll probably find these buildings will get completely boarded up as soon as they have completed their investigation. Which I don't know why they need to do an investigation when they already know how the fire started and have arrested the people concerned. So those guys being here to make sure it doesn't reignite makes complete sense. But the fact the police are here makes zero sense at all. I better be careful because my legs just crossed that flipping tape and needs to start this car down there, so I'll probably get shouted at soon. But ladies and gentlemen, if you are brand new to the channel, obviously this is something we do quite regularly, come and look at these sort of things. The last time we were in Rushton, and this time we're here in Northampton. So ironically, there's only like 25 miles between the two, which is kind of crazy. But if you want to join the channel, please feel free to do so. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, and then of course you can catch up on anything as they happen, potentially, as the one in Rushton was filmed on location as it happened, and we got there before the BBC. This is just an update on this one, but please feel free to come and join us. Oh, the Gestapo, yeah, they've probably hunted me down. Look, they're sat right there, just beyond the green lights. Those headlights sat right there. There's a police car that's been sat there now for about, what, 20 minutes? Probably, so I call them jumped up job suburbs, the fact they shouted at someone who had the audacity to walk down that path. And was like, oh yeah, you're messing with the crime scene. That path there is going straight down there. Nowhere near a crime scene, is it? Oh dear. Oh dear, is Mr. Fireman going to come and shout at me? Probably is, to be fair. Oh dear.
Hello, mate.
Yeah, you?
Yeah, that's bad.
Cool. Am I not allowed to be here?
Well, I think, well, you're at the side of the table, mate, just be careful on the road, yeah.
Yeah.
The police have moved a couple of people on.
Yeah, no.
But I think they were actually trying to get on site.
Yeah, I've got no intention of going over there. I just do YouTube, you know what I mean?
Oh, do you?
So, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I'm just actually doing a live stream now for my people. So,
Oh, nice.
But I've got no intention of crossing your
If you've got
ribbon.
any questions, mate? I'll try and answer what I can. If you,
Yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't at the moment, but if I do, I'll try and, or if my people ask any questions, I'll let you know.
Right, then, mate. Yeah, no
But yeah,
worries.
literally, I've got no intention of crossing the ribbon, so obviously I was going to get in trouble with the police or anything. Just want to update these people.
Obviously, if you're in, it is a closed road, but
Yeah.
hopefully just be vigilant if there's any.
I will do.
For your safety, mate. All
I
right.
appreciate you. Thank you very much indeed, man. Cheers. Oh, mate. There you go. You see, the fire service are nice people. I don't get why the police have got such an issue. As soon as you say you're a flipping YouTuber, if you've got any questions, let us know. So if you guys have got any questions, pile them in the comments and we'll try and ask our nice little firefighter friend. And who knows, they could ask them in real time right here on this channel. That'd be pretty sick, wouldn't it? So it's not quite permission granted. We're not allowed to cross this cross the cordon, which obviously we've got no intention of doing anyway. But yeah, we've got permission granted to be here, which is pretty sick. I like that. What a nice guy. As I say, I'll quite happily walk around the perimeter. I'll quite happily walk around their cordon. I've got no intention at all of walking the other side of that, unless of course they are prepared to like allow us to maybe go along the shop fronts and film from them with a member of them with us. I'm not sure if they will or not, but at the end of the day, we do things the right way here on LindenTV. We've got no intention of causing any upset, any misery or any aggro to these people, they're just here to do their jobs. Them, they can swivel as far as I'm concerned. You know, they probably wouldn't be quite as polite and nice as what that firefighter was. But as soon as you turn around and say you're a YouTuber, you're doing a live stream, you can see my phone anyway. Yeah, it is bad. It's really bad. And I think the worst thing is the fact animals died in Pets at Home. And so it took out 1, 2, 3, 4 different shops potentially. I mean, Dreams was only just hit. By the way, if you can hear that noise in the background, it's a fox by the sound of things. But yes, it was Dreams, and then NCL Living, Pets at Home, which also is a Vets for Pets as well, as you can see on there. And then of course Dunelm, where it all started off from. But what a nice firefighter. We all go along here, so we just walk along the whole thing and show you everything. They tried to move fish to a different shop, and when they, I believe a lot of them died anyway before that happened, because for some reason the process and procedure for Pets at Home is if the fire alarm goes off for any specific amount of time, all the tanks automatically empty anyway. So it's kind of like to avoid them like getting too hot, glass smashing, etc, etc. So a lot of fish did die, a lot of animals died, and it's just sad, man. You know, at the end of the day, why would a child want to cause that much death and destruction to poor innocent animals? They probably decided they want to try and kill people. Thankfully, that didn't happen. So, as you can see, look, the amount, even now, that's one fire engine and an ALP, plus 2 police cars are out of action to do anything else around this area, because they're literally here dealing with this. I don't actually understand why they want to do an investigation into how the fire started, because they already know. They know it was started deliberately. They know it was started by children, and they've arrested the people concerned. Kids these days are feral. Nothing surprises me with them. No, do you know what? I agree with you. I say, that fox is bloody noisy. I hope they're having a good time. Didn't quite reach B&M. It was kids. Oh, 2 kids, 1 adult. The adult was 30 years old and the kids were about 16, 17. Says it all, doesn't it, really? You know what I mean? Like, an adult of 30 should know better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not being funny. You've all seen how absolutely, I don't know if we can cross over it or not because there's no tape. We've all seen how crazy, like myself and Connor can be. But even me and him would never dream of doing anything like this. I mean, just look at that. Look at that destruction. We had a pet shop with shitty wiring. So many animals died. That's so sad. That's horrendous. I feel sorry for you, Linda. Hopefully, no people were injured or hurt. And hopefully you managed to get those animals, like, replaced, etc. But it's still devastating when that sort of thing happens. Thanks for getting involved there, Linda. I appreciate you. They've all been arrested. Good. All the doors were open. Yeah, so basically as far down here as you can go. So B&M, I think their doors are open. Looks like the Tappy ones are open as well. I'm not entirely sure, but that could have been going in there to douse everything down. But if that's the case, the amount of smoke damage going from there all the way along there, and obviously Dreams, NCL Living, Pets at Home and Dunelm, they're all completely open. And it's just kind of like, really, really bad. But because, of course, like I said, because they are all linked together, all these shops are all literally just units, yeah? So it's basically one massive area, and they get separated off into different shops. So, of course, as soon as it gets into the roof, it just spreads along, and along, until you get to one where finally it burns itself out, or they've doused it down enough to prevent that happening. Yeah, it's just horrendous. So many fish and big birds. Breaks my heart. Thank you, loves. it is tragic, and it's, again, when it's something as innocent as an animal that realistically isn't going to have a clue what's going on, and then before it knows, like, the roof's falling through, loads of smoke. Like, I mean, a lot of them probably died from smoke inhalation or smoke related, like, deaths and stuff. But it doesn't make it any easier, you know. Like, animals were in this country, like, on this planet long before we were, and yet they die from either being cooked alive or basically suffocating to death because they've got no oxygen. It's horrible. And I really hope that obviously these so-called kids and this 30-year-old man gets dealt with appropriately, you know what I'm saying? There's a name for 30-year-olds who kick around with kiddies. I mean, no comment. To be fair though, Connor, just remember that obviously your co-presenter is, like, significantly younger than me, so don't tar me in the same brush, for Christ's sake. It's horrible, and innocent animals, and it is so sad. Absolutely, it's horrible. Before we were Homo sapiens, we actually originated from the sea. Well, I didn't know that. There we go. But Linda, thanks very much indeed for getting involved with the channel tonight. I appreciate you, and thank you for joining the chat. I do appreciate that as well. In fact, to show our appreciation, there we go. Boom. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you. So yeah, obviously, as the very kind firefighter said earlier on, if there are any questions and stuff that we have got regarding this fire, or how quickly it spread as well, they are happy to answer them at any point. Obviously, I know there's no tape here, and I don't know if we're actually inside their restricted area, but it's just a shame you can't get close enough to show us. But this is the thing, I don't know if we can or not, because technically there's no ribbon here. Their cordon literally follows the course of the hedgerow all the way around there. Right, so it goes all the way around and then straight down to those traffic lights, but I don't know how close we actually can get. Now, granted, there is no tape here, like, across this road, and their tape or cordon literally finishes around here. So I don't actually know how close we actually are allowed to get. But what I don't want to do, you know, I don't actually know. You and Connor aren't feral nerds though, mate. You both act responsible. I don't know if you've gone back through our content and seen me and him together. I can assure you, like, there are times we are completely mental. However, like, he and I are, as anyone on this channel will tell you, he and I are incredibly good friends. And as far as we're concerned, age is just a number, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, the end of the day, he's an adult, I'm an adult, but I can assure you, if he was like 17 years old, I mean, his 19-year-old brother, like, asked me for a lift occasionally, and I'm like, yeah, I'll happily do that and this sort of shit. When it comes to going to the pub and stuff, though, I'm like, well, yeah, I'll go with you and your brother, but I won't go with you on your own, if you understand what I'm saying. You just get told to move back. Yeah, but with a reasonable officer, yes, you would do, but seeing how unreasonable these guys' colleague was, by shouting at someone who literally just walked over a bit of ribbon because they were walking down the street and almost tripped over it, I don't really want to risk walking down that street or along the front of these shops, because again, there's no ribbon down there. So although we could probably get as close to the front door of Pets at Home and Dunelm, we probably could do that, but at the same time, I don't want to get us or you guys in trouble. The firefighter might be cool, but never trust the piggies when they're loitering. I mean, yeah, I probably could ask the firefighter and be like, would it be okay to walk through those gates and along the front of these shops with the open doors, providing I promise you guys I will not cross the boundary. They'll assume that you're an auditor and detain you under Section 5 of the Terrorism Act. That's their go-to. What the hell's an auditor? Yeah, if they want to try and do me... To be fair, I actually almost got done for terrorism just for driving through a tunnel in a place called Ramsgate down in Kent, because I dropped my brother off so he could film me driving through a massive big puddle, and we both got yelled at, and it was a case of like, get back in the vehicle, otherwise you'll be reported for terrorism. So we are going to walk through here. Like I said, we're not going to cross any boundaries and stuff, because I do not want to get arrested. Obviously over here, there doesn't seem to be any issues at all. I feel bad for the workers. Yeah, do you know what? So do I. Because although a lot of them are probably thinking, cool, I get to go home early. Sound. But yeah, this is probably about as close as we're going to get. So if we just zoom in right now, don't know how clear that's going to be for you guys, unfortunately, but you can see the doors are open for Dreams. I think the same as Note. So B&M is still very much closed, but Dreams very much open. NCL Living again very much open, and obviously Pets at Home completely destroyed. And of course you then go across to Dunelm, and that is completely gone as well, which is, it must have been terrifying for them to actually been working that day and having all this kicking off around them. But as you can see, it was quite a bustling, that's Wren Kitchens there, by the way, guys. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's normally quite a bustling, busy area or retail park. It's the annoying thing now, such bright signs, they don't show up on camera properly. Oh, they're now going to drive over and shout at me as well because I'm over here. Look at them, look. As soon as they see people, look, they're actually going to come shout at me because I'm here as well. Auditors are difficult to describe. They go around with cameras and attract the attention of police, and the police use Section 5 to detain and search them. Are they going to come and shout at me as well then, are they? Because I'm just stood in the car park myself. Like, can you imagine it? So you've got Wren Kitchens there, Mattress Man, Carpets for Less, etc, etc. They're going to come and shout at me now, are they? Oh yeah? Really? Here we go, folks. Let's see if I get detained under Section 5. Here we go. It's mad. Where's the tape?
So, that barrier is open to cars coming through. There's tape down there and there's tape all up there. You just
Oh right, because I didn't see any tape there. I just like
yeah,
assumed
no,
if you come through.
Got a stamp behind the barriers,
All right, cool. Yeah, then that's fine.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm just doing a live stream for my YouTube community. That's all. So I didn't realise I couldn't come in here.
That's all right.
But I'm not going to go anywhere naughty. So cheers. Thank you. Well, actually, they were quite polite. And as you can quite rightly say, well, actually, no, that's bullshit. There actually is tape on the floor down there. Look. Oh dear, we may have crossed over a little bit of tape, ladies and gentlemen. Whoops, we broke the law. Never mind. But again, get shitty with the police, they'll get shitty with you. But if you're nice to them, then they'll be nice back to you. There's no way they're going to let us get any closer to the shops, unfortunately. Which is a slight shame, because it would be quite, well, I would say quite distressing to show you some things. I think to show you guys like the inside of Pets at Home would actually be quite depressing for a lot of people and very distressing, to be fair, as it would be for Dunelm, Pets at Home, and also NCL Living. I don't know how yeah, I don't know how bad the other shops are affected, but obviously you have seen the photos of the fire at its pinnacle for Pets at Home, and it was horrific, you know what I mean. But they can now see we've moved as they've requested, like to behind their little thingy. So yeah, we can't get in too much trouble hopefully now. But yeah, as Connor's just said, whoopsies, I agree. So it's kind of mad. It's actually mental. So as long as we stay out here, we can't get in any major trouble, to be fair. The irony being though, look, this is a harassment-free zone. So there we go. So it's a harassment-free zone, but they're allowed to harass you and tell you to move on. But again, to be fair, they're polite enough, and at the end of the day, it's mentioned why you're here, and they don't seem to have too much of an issue with it at all. But it is crazy, folks. I'm not going to lie. Like, just to know, well, to know now that obviously it's started by children and also a 30-year-old adult is just horrific. I mean, to be fair, there's nothing to say. Obviously, that 30-year-old wasn't the kid's parent, But again, you'd want to know, or to be fair, you would want to know why a 30-year-old is hanging around with 16 and 17-year-olds if they're not related. That is pretty mental. But Barbara, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you. So we'll just walk around this hedge now, just so the police don't get too upset at it standing at the thingy. We will make sure we maintain this side of the tape, where ironically one of my friends had actually stood here, this exact spot, on Saturday. And yeah, I think it started off about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it was roughly like, yeah, it must have been like afternoon sort of time. So it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I got a message from, ironically, Connor's brother, asking, like, or not asking, saying, you need to get to Northampton, mate, and have a look at this fire. I'm like, bro, I'm in Market Harbour. It can't happen. Like, I'm 25 miles away. By the time I, like, you know, plus I'm with the family. If I was by myself, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. And we could have caught this in its pinnacle as it was happening for all of you guys to see. But yeah, it's about 3, maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If any of you actually have access to Google right now, maybe you could Google what time this happened. It's the Neen Valley Retail Park here in Northampton. But yeah, it's absolutely mad. It was very much a Saturday afternoon thing anyway, where again, this was very much open. And as you can see there, that's all the shops on this retail park. So we've got the top, Curry's, Smith's Toy Superstore, NCL Living, Dreams, Dunelm, B&M, Carpets for Less, Tappy, Wren and Mattress Man. And of course, Vets for Pets at Pets at Home. So, you know, obviously a lot of those stores will probably be able to open. So B&M, Tappy, Mattress Man, Carpets for Less, etc., they can all open. Even Wren Kitchens in Curry's, they'll be able to open at some point. But I'm pretty sure B&M, Dreams, NCL, definitely Pets at Home and Dunelm are going to be closed for a substantial amount of time. So at what point, what happens then to the workers? Because I was thinking the same thing. Obviously, these guys cannot return to work on Monday morning because there's nowhere for them to work. So is it just a case of like they get sent to other stores, or do they just get time off with pay? What actually happens? Because I don't even know, to be fair. I've never been in that situation myself, having worked in retail, granted, a couple of years back. But I don't actually know what happens to the staff. Do they just get relocated to other stores, or what actually happens? They'll be remanded today for that then, and then surely they can't get bail for that and carry on. I mean, you'd like to think they wouldn't, but again, you don't always know, because funny enough, the CPS and the justice system have a really strange way of working. And for certain things where you're like, there's absolutely no way on this earth like they're going to get away with this, sometimes people have an amazing way of getting away with the most crazy ass shit, whether it be for like mental health reasons or special needs, learning difficulties or whatever. Like, you can just get away with basically murder. But they'll definitely be appearing in court tomorrow. There's a zoom in of the entrance and exit though of Dunelm. I mean, just look already at the devastation to that. Like, and you can also see how wet that area is. So they've clearly been doing a lot of like dampening down and stuff today. So that car's been there since the weekend. And then that's the fire engine where that nice fireman came over. And of course we also got the ALP. I'm not sure why they're here, to be fair. That is kind of weird. And then the police car there with those nice ladies who were like, oh, you can't actually be here. Okay then, we'll move. I apologise. But again, it's really weird because you've got this retail park here, and then just down the road, past like those traffic lights, etc., there's another one. Now this road is completely closed all the way down. So in and out, getting nothing. KFC, getting nothing. Audi and also B&Q, they're getting no customers right now. So I can't even imagine how pissed off they are. But you might be able to see right in the distance, right down there. Dude, stop flashing me. Just behind them searchlights, there is a McDonald's sign where there's another like retail park. So again, But the road that's been closed completely, and a 24-hour McDonald's sat right there, they ain't gonna get no custom. It's kind of crazy, and I don't understand what this copper's fucking problem is. Like, I might just walk down here and be like, yo, can I just ask you, why are you trying to blind me? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm allowed to do a YouTube video, and this is the only opportunity I've got today, because then I'm going home later on tonight or today, sleeping, editing stuff from the weekend to show my peoples, and then do another like live stream tomorrow night. Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, I might better convince your co-presenter to make himself available for like an hour or so to come in and join our Monday fun day later from his holiday or his hotel room in Espanol. And unfortunately, you'd have to stay in his hotel or his hotel room due to the fact that I was talking to him earlier. Literally had a video call with him on Snapchat earlier, and it ended because he ran out of mobile data and the Wi-Fi is shocking apparently. So it's alright for sending messages, but it's not very good for anything more than that. So unfortunately, our conversation was cut short. But may I add, it was very, very nice to see him and speak to him after not speaking to him since Tuesday. So there we go. Hopefully he will actually be able to join our live later on. I'll invite him. If he joins, he joins. Even if he joins as a moderator, that'd be perfect. If they prod you, you're an independent journalist. Oh God, can you imagine that? They'll be like, can I see some proof and ID then, please? No, you can't, because all my ID's in my car. Now go, son. I was like, listen, if your colleagues over there could be like nice and polite to me, I don't understand why you're being pricked. But this is the area. I mean, just see already. Look at the state of that building. See all that black shit just rolling down the side of that. That's horrific, guys. Like, it's horrible. And honestly, I don't know if you guys have ever been near a burning building before to know what it smells like, but Christ alive, it smells horrible. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, it's really not great at all. But moderators, to my lovely team of you right now, Gracie and Connor, if you'd like, and Danny, if you're still here, if you'd like to give me a subscriber count right now, that'd be amazing. We are going to walk down here and just see how far down here we can actually go, because I don't know how far their tape goes down. Oh, it goes fucking miles, of course it does. But honestly, even now, you can still smell the smoke. And it probably is not visible on camera, but there probably is quite a bit of smoke still coming out of that building, because you can smell it. It's horrendous. Whereas if I stood here on Saturday, you couldn't even see those traffic lights. That is how bad it was. 427, look at that. We have got a new people. Happy days, I appreciate that. Cheers, Connor, I appreciate you, man. But yeah, literally the smell of smoke from here is mad. How these trees didn't catch fire, actually, or these street lights, is actually beyond me. Because of course, that's the other thing. The amount of electricity that's been switched off for all those buildings. Like, can you imagine how much wiring has been damaged for all these places? It's just mental. And yet, weirdly, B&Q and Audi all seem to be operating as normal. But again, they can't be, because this road's closed completely to any traffic. So you can't drive down here, you can only just walk down here. Like I say, there's a McDonald's down there, look. Just behind that police car. And weirdly, they ain't getting no custom. So there's quite a few businesses, shops and all this sort of stuff around here that are now getting absolutely zero custom in any way, shape or form, because three people thought it'd be hysterical or funny or clever or whatever their mind or thought process was to set this place on fire. Like, that's what makes you sick, folks. It's the absolute immaturity, because there really is, well, we've got the green light. It's the immaturity, because there really is no reason for it. Like, fuck me, the smells mad. Golden Arches is never far away. No, you're right, they're not. They're never far away. However, they ain't gonna get no custom unless they're literally only open for emergency services right now. I say, thankfully, there were no human casualties. The only casualties of this fire, sadly, was the animals and pets at home. And obviously, you know, animals and fish that were obviously on sale there, which is beyond horrific, because there's just it's just no need for it. It's just mindless vandalism and mindless arson. Like, I'm not being funny, there can't be a solicitor in the country who'd be prepared to like support people or back people or even defend people for an act that potentially could have got seriously out of hand and taken out that entire block. I mean, those shops at the back there, so Mattress Man, etc., and all that lot down there, they'd have been fine. They're a separate unit. And of course, with the wind blowing across this way, to the point this entire road was covered in smoke the other day, that's fine. Like, you know, which kind of also begs the question, with smoke passing in that direction, how was the fire able to spread in that direction and spread all the way down to B&M? Like, it makes zero. I'm determined not to cross that cone. Like, every time I see it, I'm like, no, must walk this side. Because they are watching, I am determined to make sure they ain't going to come racing up here and be like, yo, you can't be here. I'll be like, yo, yes I can. Shut your face. But yeah, it's mad. And obviously, this is a little bonus live for you guys. Obviously, we wouldn't normally do one on a Sunday night into a Monday morning. But as we're in Northampton anyway, and knowing what happened over the weekend, and knowing how the community as a whole generally likes these sort of documentaries and or reportings, it just kind of makes sense. An update as well with the Rushton fire. Obviously that has now been well and truly finished with, and of course that was determined to have started spontaneously by accident, and the building was obviously evacuated, etc., prior to the arrival of fire crews at 6:30 in the morning. Whereas this one is absolutely 110% vandalism, and started deliberately. Hello, where are you going? Okay. What the fuck? What are we witnessing here, folks? This is kind of crazy. Have they detected like a hot spot or something where they need to go and fill up loads of water from the canal or something, or what? That's kind of crazy. Bearing in mind that road literally just leads all the way down to the canal and then there's nothing. Be interesting to know where they've gone. Animal abuse, willful fire raising, causing fear, alarm and distress, breach of the peace, vandalism, property damage. That's just some of the charges those people are probably facing. But now they've actually moved, if you can see, a lot clearer now. The damage and destruction, that's just one shop, bearing that very much in mind. Yeah, you've still got Pets at Home, NCL and Dreams that were probably either severely smoke damaged or potentially had fire starting them as well. So there could be, you got to think, this insurance, or the insurances for these buildings and these companies, is going to run into potentially hundreds of thousands of pounds. You've also got to remember, units like these very rarely belong to the company that's above the door. They're rented apartments. They're rented spaces, yeah? So it's highly unlikely that they're going to own the building outright. So of course, someone has got to pay to have these places like redone. And I'm pretty sure, knowing how skint Northamptonshire Council are, whoever it was that put this place in the first place potentially isn't going to have the money and funds to actually properly sort this place out anytime soon. So these could be shut for months, literally months. And it's terrifying when you think about it, because then there's all these people either out of work or having to go to other stores while they replace all this lot. How's that fair for the people that work here? Because most people will be working here because it's either close or convenient to their homes, and now they've got to go and work something completely different with brand new teams, and there's no real guarantee they're going to have the same shifts available. So it's got to be a worrying time for people that work here, just because 3 people, in fact you can see smoke coming off of that building, just make it out there, that little bit of white smoke in the line of that light over there. So it clearly is still smouldering quite significantly. So I suppose it would do. Obviously the heat that would have been generated in that fire is pretty mad. Obviously this policeman's coming over here. Are they going to come and talk to me again? Don't worry, we're still here. We haven't crossed your little cordon, sweetheart. Nice looking police car though, isn't it? Isn't it lovely? Probably shouldn't show their number plate on camera, but it's a marked police car. They can't really do much about it, can they? But yeah, mad. That's a big old train going past. I'm not sure why they're just mindlessly driving around, to be fair. It's kind of weird. Like, are you that bored that you just want to go for a random little drive around the car park? Because look, that's literally all they're doing. Just going around. I mean, is that your idea of a patrol? Just driving around a car park? Why? Literally. Is this Ronnie Pickering? No, I am not Ronnie Pickering. That's one of them memes that's never going to die. But Nick, welcome back to the channel, my friend. But look at that devastation. Like, that is just bad, isn't it? Come on. So if you guys have got any questions, when the fire service do return, we may ask their nice firefighter if we can ask him some questions. Find out what actually what started the fire, what accelerant was used, and how far realistically did it actually spread down, and how much damage has realistically been caused. We already know obviously animals died, which again sickens me, to be fair. You know, maybe the intention was not to take out the entire row of shops, but whatever the intention was, like, this is not right. This is not the right way of doing it at all. And it makes me sick to know that, like, potentially people could have been severely injured and or died on Saturday afternoon, because this is a very busy retail park ordinarily. And you've also got to think the amount of panic and widespread hysteria from people who have just been going about doing their everyday lives, their everyday shopping, and then you don't expect to go shopping on a Saturday afternoon and be greeted with like a massive fire like this, do you? Where loads and loads of businesses are affected all at the same time. It's kind of horrific, to be fair, and yeah, it's not great, is it? So I'm intrigued to know where that fire engine went though, because as you can clearly see from these signs, this is a dead end. So unless they've gone down there for, you know, the toilet break or something, I actually don't know. It's really weird. They may come back whilst we're still here, they may not. This police officer is still very much driving around. Oh, look at that, look. So I don't get either, yeah? Like, explain this to me, right? Completely empty car park. You've got an ALP park like that, right? And then the police decide to park completely nicely in a parking space. Why? Like, why are they thinking we've got to set an example? The road is shut completely. Like, there's absolutely no one who's going to come through there. So why have they parked so nicely? Ice V100, do you remember me? I believe I do, yeah. Moderators, who's currently online with me right now? Anyone? Hopefully there's still some of you around. Yeah, so where the hell that fire engine went, and this is very much a dead end road, it's kind of weird. Half tempted to maybe take a little walk down there and find out where the hell they went. but that's down to you guys. If you want us to go down and find out where the fire engine went, we can do, or we can just sit here and keep showing you this, because as fires go, it's pretty horrific. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But also that was a pretty stunning piece of kit. Look at the size of the damn thing. And those ladders, my god, that went like 30 foot in the air as well on Saturday afternoon. Spraying water, originally on Dunelm, and also we moved along, keeping it all nice and damp. And like I say, thankfully they managed to save the last two shops on this side. So they did a decent job. But then Northamptonshire Fire and Rescue are actually a decent bunch of people. That lot, luck of the draw. They can either be really good or they can be absolute arseholes. Thankfully those ones in that car are actually quite nice people, and we're quite happy to like, can you not be here please? Okay, yeah, no problem. Who's here from my moderator team right now? We still got Connor and Gracie, or have we both fell asleep? Just look. Seeing all these shop doors open early on a Monday morning just is not normal. And when you see literally the amount of devastation inside Pets at Home, all the shop front completely gone, it really does make you question, like, what was the mentality of anyone who wanted to set this place on fire. It's horrible, it's horrific, and just such mindless, so mindless. Because why would you do it? Makes no sense to me at all. Hello to all of you people who are currently watching. Though, if you are brand new to the channel and want to see more things like this, you can of course smash the like button and hit subscribe. Come and join us right here at LindenTV. It is completely free for you to do so, and you can check out a lot more of our footage as well. As you can see, front door to Dreams wide open, NCL Living wide open, Pets at Home and Dunelm obviously both completely destroyed by fire, which, just why would you do it? This is the sort of thing you normally expect to happen during the night time as well, folks. It's the fact it happened during broad daylight on a Saturday afternoon when people were literally just going about their normal lives and everything else. And you've got to think, you know, people don't expect to come shopping and find themselves in such a horrific incident. And like I said, to have had 10 fire engines here Saturday afternoon just goes to really show the scale of this fire. Yeah, it's just absolute pig shit, to be fair. So, but guys, if you are brand new to the channel or seeing this channel for the first time, please feel free to like and subscribe. And like I say, as a channel, we quite often do bring these sort of films, these sort of programs to YouTube. In fact, the last fire we did, we even got there before the news. We were there before the ITV news and there before the BBC. So we got there first. We weren't here on Saturday though, due to us obviously being out of the county and away with family. Hence why we're doing a little update right here, right now, which is kind of mad. But yeah, just the devastation, the mindless devastation, the mindless vandalism and death of animals just makes you sick. Completely and utterly sick. Does sound like that fire engine might be coming back. Or if nothing else, topping up the water just in case they're going to need it. Thankfully, no embers or any parts of a burning building from here was able to spread across the roads to either B&Q, Aldi, or just beyond there. All that smoke there is from the Carling factory. Thankfully, well, not the factory, sorry, the Carling brewery. Thankfully, there is no issues or having no issues or anything flying over there to allow this fire to spread. Because if that had been the case, especially in a brewery, can you imagine how much that would go bang? As if this wasn't bad enough, if it then spread to B&Q or onto a brewery, well, like, that would be massive. Massive and very horrendous. Oh, another guy on a scooter. So, like I say, the KFC's just over there. They won't be getting any business for a while because, again, this is all closed off completely. So, a lot of people affected by a fire started maliciously by 3 people. One 30-year-old, a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old have all been arrested so far. Absolutely mindless. It's actually pretty crazy. And like I say, the smell, you can still smell clear as day how smoky, how burnt, and how just shit it all smells, to be fair. And like I say, as you walk up the road past this retail park, even now, like nearly what 36 to 48 hours later, the heat generated around here is just mad. So it was not a lot of fun, and I can imagine the heat on the time of this all burning would have been absolutely horrific, to be fair. I can only imagine how that must have been on the day. It was bad enough seeing it online, and I watched actually a friend's live stream on Facebook earlier on today, and yeah, the amount of smoke that just literally pummeled across the road to the point the traffic lights in the distance weren't even visible. And when you think that he was stood pretty much where we are right now on that day, or on Saturday afternoon, and on his live stream you could not even see those lights or any fire engines that came racing up that road. They weren't even visible until they literally got to like here, and you saw their blue lights and stuff. It was, you know, just watching that footage online was horrendous. It just makes you really wonder again, why? Why has someone done that? For those of you who are brand new to this channel though and haven't been here very long, we're currently looking at a fire at the Nen Valley Retail Park, which was started deliberately right there in Dunelm. Just look at it. Look at how bad that was. Just taking the whole lot. And as you can see, very, very faintly, just up there, a little bit of white smoke still pluming through. Who the fuck is that coming down the road? It's supposed to be a shut road. Have they now opened it? Oh no. Police. Hi guys. What are they doing here? How weird. Unless they're relieving these guys. Very odd. Very odd. They're going to park up? Yeah, they're going to park nicely as well. Oh, they're having a nice little car meet, look. Oh. In case you hadn't gathered though, ladies and gents, obviously Skoda is the car of choice for Northamptonshire Police. There we go. Coming for a nice little car meet. Hi guys. You'll probably find that probably means that one there is going to leave quite soon. Probably also means the cars parked by those traffic lights there will be leaving quite soon as well, as they've come to relieve them. But yeah, so this building Saturday afternoon was well and truly ablaze. It was started deliberately. Had a fire in the toilet to begin with, and whilst the staff were dealing with that, they've then gone into the rest of the store and actually set a bed on fire, leading to the destruction of not just 1, 2, 3, and then 4 different stores. That's Dunelm, Pets at Home, NCL Living, and also Dreams have all been affected by this fire. The worst two obviously being Dunelm and Pets at Home, both of which have been fully destroyed by fire, and also killing animals, which they were not able to evacuate from the storm, which is actually heartbreaking. Bearing in mind that's a vets as well, as you can see there, vets for pets. Bearing in mind there could have had animals in there that are being operated on or recovering from surgery, etc. That must have been absolutely horrific for any owners. They have since been moved to other stores, but it's not the point. It's just absolutely horrendous to know that people can do that deliberately on a Saturday afternoon. It started in broad daylight, 3:30 in the afternoon, about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, and yeah, you can now just see the amount of destruction. There was a fire engine here earlier on, which has now just decided to clear off the road. We still don't really know why, and as you can see, there's still very much a police cordon in place. It's just, yeah, absolute mindless vandalism. And try and tell me someone's mentality, like, who's done that. Like I say, a 30-year-old, a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old have all been arrested in connection with this incident. And it's just, why? Like, it's really, really, really shit. In case you're wondering, by the way, that red little spot up there, it's not fire or flames or anything. It is literally like a red light on top of a mast or something in the distance. Obviously, if anything does kick off or decide to catch fire again or can spontaneously combust, that's probably why these guys are still very much here. But for those of you who are watching for the very first time, if you're the first time on this channel and these sort of things interest you, please feel free to smash the like button and hit subscribe. We are always available for these sort of incidents to either report them as they happen, or like this one, do a little update for those people in the area. But ladies and gents, we have been live for the last hour, so we are actually going to end right now. This has been LindenTV reporting on the update of this fire. As and when we know more stuff, we'll probably let you know about that as well. We'll be back live at 9 PM for a Monday fun day right here on LTV, where we'll probably discuss this for this fire in further detail later on. But until then, ladies and gents, this has been LindenTV. Remember, miss it, miss out.